2 days instead of just today?
I don't have the link on mine, but I might have deleted it too. So I'm not saying that you didn't send it. I just don't have it on mine.
Okay. Well, I will resend it today to y'all just to be safe. All right. One thing that I wanted to talk about today, as far as leadership, is getting with our guys and knowing exactly what's going on. I know that when y'all are in the field, sometimes it's a little hard to keep track of what's going on, and I do understand that. It's sometimes hard for y'all to keep track of what's going on with the guys and get your jobs taken care of, things like that. But I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. Perfect example was yesterday with Tyler. Obviously I was in the field and I wasn't paying too much attention to the schedule going on. A couple guys had called me and said installs weren't going in, things like that. And then guys going home early, stuff like that, getting, stopping, taking care of other stuff. And come to find out, Tyler had two 12-to-4s that he obviously had not contacted and until about 4 o'clock. And those customers suffered. I mean, obviously they got taken care of, but Tyler had to work late to get those taken care of, and he did not contact them. I understand he made a mistake, but I want y'all to help me in that situation. Obviously those days that I'm in the field, it's kind of like y'all. I can't watch everything, but I do need some help whenever I'm out in the field working, helping the rest of the team, and I can't stay on top of the schedule. I need y'all's help in seeing that and seeing where there could be some hiccups, and being able to reach out to me and those people that are running behind so that we can get them some help. We obviously we don't want to leave our guys in the field floundering, and we want to make sure that the customers are getting taken care of in the right amount of time. One question that I have is, how often do y'all look at y'all's team schedules and keep up with them?
Well, I think most of the time everybody knows what the schedule's going on. It's just, as team leadership, I think we failed a lot, especially yesterday. I finished around 1:30, and instead of looking at the schedule for Tyler, I set up a block to go get the maintenance done. I need to get done on this truck. About 2 o'clock, if you remember, I had you block me from like 2 to 4 so I get this vehicle maintenance done. Which I could easily picked up a 12-4 yesterday and helped Tyler out in that regard. And I completely screwed that up. And then I think Mod all day may have done one job. His installs didn't go through. He could have picked up a job and been very well, this could have been avoided. So I think as a leader group yesterday, even though Tyler did mess up yesterday, I think we messed up on that part. And to be honest with you, that's totally unacceptable to me. But I'll take a fault at that one because I could have easily picked up one of those 12-4 yesterday to help him out.
All right. No, I appreciate that, Vic. Thanks for the transparency on that. Thanks for, owning up that, it could have been avoided. And you're right. We all kind of dropped the ball on that, and I think that we all had, some of us had the opportunity to be able to, get that taken care of and help him out, and we didn't. Brian, I saw you wanted to hop on.
Well, yeah, I was just going to say, it's just to answer your question, like how often we're looking at it. Every chance I get, I'll look at everybody's schedule and see what they're doing and how they're doing. And then, we use Zinc sometimes to say, hey, how's everybody's days going kind of thing, which helps out sometimes. But yesterday, for example, we know we had a couple installs fell off. And so that's how I caught that and was able to get Eric to pick up one of my installs, So, not that we're not looking at it all the time, but for Tyler's situation, like he came to meet me at my first install to get some panels, and then he's like, "Well, now I gotta go meet Victor." So, I mean, he could have just been lollygagging at the same time. So, I mean, I don't really know that, but I don't think he was really in a rush to get those jobs done to begin with. So we can say, yeah, it's our fault at the same time. But like I say, I know he did some lollygagging because it shouldn't have took him as long as he took to get what he needed.
Okay, yeah. No, you're absolutely right. But like I said, there was definitely some mistakes made on both sides. And that's what I'm trying to figure out is, kind of how we're looking at this and seeing what's going on. Dustin, do you have something?
Yeah, man. With him being on my squad, I'll definitely take a little ownership on the fact that I should have dug in a little bit more. I did call him. I did see his schedule. I saw it was pretty light, and I saw he was on, that move install, and it was still going. And I called him to make sure he was doing good, and he's like, "Well, hey, I'll call you back." He never called me back, so I figured he was just trying to get it done. So, and after that, the last time I really talked to him was at 4:14 when it was made to my knowledge that he was still on that job because I was helping Brian on his install, and I failed to ask how he's going to call back, but on the same token, he and I had a conversation, and pretty much told him that he has to still reach out if he's running behind, and his response to me was, every time I ask for help, no one responds, so I'm just pissing in the wind. And I mean, I just straight up told him, I was like, that's not the attitude to have. You still have to ask whether or not people ask you or respond when you ask. You still need to ask. That way you're saying, hey, look, I ask all the time, no one responds. And then, Derek can go at bat, or I can go at bat, or Victor can go at bat for you, saying, hey, listen, guys, why are we having a guy out here asking for help and no one's answering them? So, I mean, I definitely felt I should have easily called right back and be like, hey, man, you didn't call me back. Are you running behind? Are you okay? Because myself, Dustin Rouse could have took me and Dustin Rouse could have easily took both of those jobs because we were done at I was done at 1:30 ish, and I think Dustin was done around 2:00. So we could have easily took both of those jobs, but with him saying that he'll call me right back, I figured he was on time and was going good, especially since it was the fact that it was a move that he did the pool just that morning. So he could have easily set himself up for success on that one. So, I mean, I want to say it was a good 50-50 at fault on each party.
Okay. And this is the way I'm looking at it. As leaders, we need to take the initiative to not just say, oh, are you running behind? Sometimes as leaders, we have to say, oh, you're running behind. Let's get this fixed. If especially, whole honestly, Dustin, I mean, it would have been easy for you yesterday to say, hey, let me take one of your jobs so that you can, get that move taken care of. Now, I mean, we failed there. And, obviously we see a trend that Tyler is staying in the field later than most of us taking care of jobs. And, it could have easily been avoided by saying, hey, let me take one of your jobs. And that's what we want to, as leaders, pay attention to, right? Now, there's two different things here. One, yes, he's been running behind on a consistent basis. And us as leaders need to find out why. I have not jumped into that as much, and I will be. But us as leaders need to be finding out exactly why he's running behind all the time. Is it a time issue? What is it? Does he not know how to do certain stuff? Does he not know how to, time management? I don't know, but we have to jump into that. So yeah, honestly, all across the board, it was a major failure on our part, but we need to make sure that these failures are not happening. That's the bottom line.
I kind of want to jump in on that, of asking him, does he not know what he's doing and all that? Is he having issues, stuff like that? Myself and Carrie, I don't know if Victor and Brian have noticed this, but with Tyler, he's not going to, for some reason, admit that he's having problems. He's going to just admit, say, no, I'm just having, it's just minor issues, just keep having the same issues everyone else has. He's not going to admit that he doesn't know anything. I don't know if it's a pride thing. I don't know if he just feels like he really does know everything. I don't know if it's just the fact that he's a habitual liar, which I'm being completely transparent, honest. He lies a lot. We've all caught him in a lot of lies. I don't know the reason why he won't, but I think that's where we need to start, is finding out why he won't admit he's having issues. Maybe it's the fact that he'll feel embarrassed, the fact that he feels that he should know this all by now. I'm not sure. I've tried asking him, things like that, and he just tells me, no, this job's easy. I have the same issues everyone else has. It's just taking me a little bit longer. That's
one thing I was going to say, like, with Tyler, like, I don't know if you guys have this relationship with him, but I just pretty much tell him how it is. I don't, like, try to sugarcoat it. I just, like, straight up tell him what he's doing wrong and how to fix it. And I know he appreciates it, because there's times where he's called me and been like, thank you, that's what I needed. So, I mean, he can take the criticism, but we have to give it in a way that's going to help him and not just, make him pissed off. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, he'll take it, and I've helped him a lot, because he probably calls me more than anybody, it seems like. But, I mean, I'm helping him as much as I can and trying to, adjust the little things. But, I mean, there are some bad habits that I know we need to break, or he needs to break.
No, y'all are both absolutely right. But here's the thing. On top of that, as leaders, asking and accepting, hey, no, I got this, whatever, we have to, as leaders, say, no, you don't have this. We need to get this fixed, right? I think that one of them is the fact that he says that just so that, because, like you said, Mott, he's embarrassed, don't know, whatever. But sometimes we have to, break that shell that he's got. He's kind of in that, I guess, for lack of better terms, that comfort zone of, just kind of skating by, and we have to break that shell. We as leaders have to be able to say, no, you are making mistakes. That's fine, but we need to get those fixed. And we need to do that on a consistent basis with him, because he is one to say, oh, no, I'm doing fine. I'm just, running behind whatever. Well, if that turns into a pattern, that's not good. And that goes for anybody on the team, not just Tyler. That goes for, all the pros across the board on our team. We have to make sure that we're watching their consistencies and we're watching their patterns to see that happening. They can say all day that they're fine, they're just struggling today. But if they're saying they're struggling today and they're saying they're struggling tomorrow and the next day, that's a pattern, right? And that's something that we have to jump on pretty quickly to break that habit and that pattern to get them back on track to doing the right thing. And we, like we've said, we've kind of failed at that, and we need to get that back on track, because with what's going on, I was talking yesterday, and I let everybody know, the other day at the 3PL, that efficiency levels are going to be dropping. It has already hit the Shreveport guys. They've already dropped their efficiency levels, so we're going to be getting more time on jobs, which means that we're going to have less jobs during the day, and our flags in our area are extremely high right now. I was actually trying to pull it up to show y'all, but for some reason my Open BI report is not popping up this morning. But we have an extreme amount of flags in our area, and with the efficiency levels dropping, that's going to cause more flags. And if we are taking that time that they're giving us and adding on more, that's just going to make our flags rise exponentially, right? And we want to jump on those habits and those trends that are being set and knock those down as quickly as possible and get these guys trained up and are understanding a little bit more. Now, with the flags that we have, we don't have the manpower right now to block guys, i.e. Victor or, y'all, to go out and ride along with these guys to help them train. That's where I'm going to have to come in, and I don't know the exact route, but as y'all have noticed, I have been out in the field a little bit more, and I'm trying to dedicate more in the field time. And unfortunately, right now, me being in the field is great, but I spend a lot of time kind of running parts around, being a parts runner. And that's also killing it because I can't spend as much time in the homes. Perfect example, yesterday, I went out to visit Brian to do an inventory audit and be with him on his job, and had to run to Lufkin right quick because Dakota was having some issues with some panels. And I had to take him some panels. And that's one thing that obviously the inventory thing I'm trying to get knocked down, and so that I can spend more time in the field with y'all and get a little bit more training completed. But bottom line, guys, we have to watch what's going on with the guys and their schedules. Excuse me, I do apologize. And we want to make sure that us as leaders are taking the initiative. If we have to, travel, a certain distance to go help somebody out, we have to do it, right? That's just, that's the common goal here, is to make sure that everybody's doing good. If we have to travel outside of the Longview, area, Tyler, Kilgore area, whatever, we need to do it so that our guys are getting help. As leaders, we have to step up and do that. And we have to come to that common ground that's just what's going to have to happen. Unfortunately, I do know, we work 8 to 6, but sometimes there's going to come those times where we do have to work a little overtime to help our teammates out. And that's just what we want to make sure that, we're getting taken care of. I understand that, we all have personal lives, we all have personal things outside of work, but sometimes as leaders, we have to be able to and willing to help out where we can. And I just want to make sure that we're all on the same agreement on that.
Understood.
I'm down.
Yeah, buddy.
All right. So now that we're all on agreement to that, what other things are y'all seeing in the field? What can we work on as a leadership team with the squads, with the team, to get us moving at a little bit better clip?
You said get us moving in a better clip?
Clip. Get us moving better.
Clip. Need to go bowling.
Well, y'all don't want that, but no, I mean, what are we seeing, guys? What's some of the trends that are happening? What's some of the communication going around? Maybe I don't know about that we need to talk about. What's going on?
Sorry, guys. I had left my phone at home, and I had to run back and get it, and then take care of a 3-year-old that's acting bad. Sorry, I was out of the truck for a second.
Anybody got anything on that? What do we need to work on as a team?
Communication still. One of the things I'd say, everybody on the team needs to work on communication still. I know I suck at it still. I've been having issues with my guys who obviously can't respond to simple emails that I send out or think that they're dumb, but
Okay, Brian?
I mean, communication, yeah. I really only have Larry that is my trouble child, but he's been getting better. I mean, some little things for him to work on. But it just, with the communication, it just takes some time to change some habits and some culture that, I mean, we'll just call them Shreveport guys that are used to. I said they were trained one way, and that's the way they're stuck in the mindset. But I mean, we're in a business that changes every day, and if you can't adapt to the change, that's a problem. So, I mean, we all know what that problem is. But, I mean, with them in general, is just trying to break up their little team in Louisiana to help us as a whole team a little bit better. If that makes sense.
Kind of agree, on that, and I'm not just trying to point out just Louisiana guys. I mean, me and Jason have been on a grounds of talking a lot more than we used to. I mean, Derek knows him and I never really talk to each other. He's opened up a lot more to me. I mean, he tells me that they talk to each other all the time, and I ask him, like, well, why aren't they talking to the squad leaders? Like you talk to me sometimes. So there is a little, how do I say that? I guess click type thing going on with them. Jason tells me all the time that they feel that he's their leader or whatever, and I tell Jason, I was like, listen, dude, you're not. I mean, you might be kind of the guy to go to that's over there. It's easier for them to go to, but they have squad leaders that they need to be reporting to and communicating to, along with the rest of the team. So I'm not sure why they're not, but if you can, enlighten me on why they're not, I'd really like to know. We would all do, but he really couldn't tell me anything.
Turn onto North Spur 63.
All right. Victor?
As a direct communication, I'm gonna go back to the helping out part. With the exception of like me and Dakota, since we're kind of out here on our own and Texarkana guys. You and I kind of touched on this a little bit yesterday. There should be no reason why the Longview / Tyler guys should ever need help from anybody, because from Tyler to Longview, from Longview to Tyler, 30, 40-minute drive. And if somebody has to go to Tyler, there shouldn't be no damn hiccups. Shouldn't be no little sad faces like a little 3-year-old if they tell you to go help somebody. I can understand not being able to come all the way to Athens to help me out, or even Dakota, but to be in that general vicinity, if you're not in the Longview, Marshall area, you're in Tyler somewhere or whatever, I think there should never be a situation where somebody can't just pick up, and drive 30, 40 minutes and pick up a job for somebody, and that way everybody gets off at a good time, and I think that's where you're going to have to come in, Derek, and just say, well, you're going to go do this job, and then if you start getting pushback from anybody, then that's when you start documenting stuff, and then if it keeps on happening, then, we'll find somebody who wants to help out, because people want to go home every time before 6 o'clock, or thinking that 6 o'clock is just the absolute deadline or dead time for people to go home. They need to go work at a warehouse somewhere or something, in my opinion. Well, they can clock out and clock in at the same time every single day. But that's just me.
No, I agree. Sometimes, our job does require us to work past 6 o'clock sometimes, Our days and our jobs are constantly changing, on an hourly basis sometimes, and we need to be able to adjust to that. I understand, like we were talking about, I understand, things happen personally, things happen professionally, and we just want to make sure that we are, being leaders and, showing, and doing the extra if need be. And so I appreciate all of those comments, guys. I appreciate, that we're looking at this in the right way, but we have to be willing to help out a teammate in need, even if it's going to push us past that 6 o'clock window. that's a common goal. That's what we have to do, and I appreciate that we're coming together on that. But we have to make sure that we act upon it as well, and not just talking about it. We want to make sure that jobs are getting done, customers are taken care of. One of the big things that we went over at the leadership conference in Salt Lake City was the Vivint values, and I want to push y'all to push the Vivint values to everyone on the team. That's a big thing coming all the way from the top, from Todd all the way down, is the Vivint values. And we talked a lot about that at the conference, and I honestly take those to heart. We all knew about them. We all know about them, from being part of Vivint. But after the conference and, really digging into the Vivint values, we really need to jump on those. So in that, I'm going to ask y'all to, and I'm going to get with Kerry when he gets back so that he can do it as well. I need each of y'all to take the Vivint values and give me what the Vivint values mean to you. Each Vivint value, right? And I suggest that you get with each person on your team and do the same. And get with them and, don't give the blatant answers. Don't give the one word answers, think about it. And we had to do the same thing, and it actually opened my eyes. And I'm pushing that to y'all. I want each of y'all to take the Vivint values, break them down, and give what it means to y'all. Secondly, on that, goals. We have seen the goals, for each team be, basically dissipate. I can't remember the last time I saw on Zinc what a person's goals were for the week. And that's a big driver in how our attitude is throughout the week for each person. So obviously I want to bring those back, but I also want each of y'all to come to me and present to me basically what your goals for the next quarter are. As a squad leader, as a pro, and as a squad, what your goals are set up for the next quarter. I'm going to be building the goals for the team for the next quarter and for myself, but I want y'all to do y'all's goals and the goals for the squad, if that makes sense.
Eric, can you send all that out in an email to us?
Definitely. I will definitely write that up and send it out to you.
Also, I don't know, this just kind of came to mind, but why don't we ask each of our team members, like on our squads, what they feel the whole team, not just our squads, but the entire team as a whole, what they feel we're failing on as the Vivint values. Like, what parts of the Vivint values do they feel that themselves or the entire team that they can see from the outside in that we're lacking, and how we can improve on those?
That is part of it, but I want the first part first, and I want those answers first before we do that. I want to see what each Vivint value means to y'all and what it means to each person on the team, and then we will go into that. But I want to see what it means first.
Hey, one thing on the goals, and I'm not completely disagreeing with it. I mean, yeah, it kind of fell off. It seems like right before Christmas-ish, but for some of the guys that don't really care about it, honestly, they're just gonna post a goal to post a goal, and they're not even gonna try to achieve it. They're just gonna post it because that's what they're told to do. So, I mean, their heart's not in it, and they're doing it for the wrong reason. So I'm not necessarily sure asking them to do that right now is realistic, because they're just gonna do it just because we're saying to do it, not them actually trying to achieve the goals they're setting. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, makes perfect sense. And here's the kickback to that. They set a goal. That means that they believe that they should get that goal. And if they don't, us as leadership need to hold them accountable for why they're not reaching that goal. And straight up, guys, documentation is key here. Because if it's documented, we have them saying, okay, hey, I say I can do this, I can get to this, I can do this, meet this goal, meet this expectation. If they don't, that's why us as leaders, or that's when us as leaders ask, why didn't you? You said you could do it. Where did you fail? And if you fail, what are you going to do to fix it? And we ask for that in writing, documentation. Okay. Then we see the habits form, if they're good and or bad, of what they're not doing or they are doing right. And that's when we can start saying, okay, well, hey, you didn't meet this goal. Why not? You said you could. I didn't tell you that you had to meet this goal. You gave me the goal. You're the one that set your own expectations. None of us set them for them. They set their own expectations. So they're not just failing, but they're failing themselves. Does that make sense?
Yes, but hey, one quick thing, like on the goals, like what kind of goals are we expecting them to set? Like, is it NPS? Is it like scorecard related? Is it like ride to my first job on time all week? I mean, what kind of stuff are we looking? Because from the way we're doing it, they're looking at upgrades, NPS, and I don't know, BAMIs, but nobody ever gets those anymore. So, I mean, just trying to get some different ideas to help them so they're not making an excuse. Oh, well, we're not counting BAMIs anymore and upgrades don't count either. So I'm going to get 4 NPS or whatever. So, I mean, what other options do we have as far as like goals?
I was going to ask the same thing, Brian, and I was going to say let's try to make it more towards what we are actually graded on. Since we're not really graded on BAMIs and upgrades anymore, we need to make it more towards the actual scorecard and that new metric that I can't remember the name of it right now, but the arrival on time and all that. We need to make it more towards that. The things that we actually get graded on, I guess you could say.
Well, maybe we could do like, I'm going to complete all my jobs this week, and then as leaders, we could go back and say, okay, well, you're setting a goal to complete all your jobs. I'm going to go back and look in all your work orders and see if you completed all your jobs or if you just closed them out as whatever, I don't know if that's an idea.
Give me just a second. I'm going to show y'all something. Let me get this pulled up. Give me just a second. OpenBI just finally started working. And it takes a second. I got to filter through, so give me just a moment here. Come on, you slow piece of junk. There we go. All right. Come on. All right. I'm going to show you all my screen. I know that you can't really see it real well, but can y'all see my screen? I know if you're driving, I do apologize. This right here, schedule adherence report, is very big. Talked a lot about the schedule adherence report at the conference. Completion rate, reschedule rate, first ticket on time starts, and missed windows. Okay? We have to, as a team, get way better on this. If you look on completion rate, there's only one person that is in solid green on the whole team, and that's Patrick. Okay? There's a couple on there that are light green, but Patrick is the only one that is solid green on that. Reschedule rate, we're getting a little crazy on that. Getting a little crazy on the reschedule rate. Rescheduling a lot of jobs, right? First time on start, first ticket on time start, got 3 guys that are in the red. Lionel, Rouse, and Sykes. And missed windows, we're doing okay, but we're not doing what we should be, right? We have a couple that are, right there on the cusp. 12.9 for Tyler, 13.3 on Manny, and 12 on Rouse. Guys, right now, to tell you the truth, by looking at this, if y'all can see it, who's doing the worst on the team right now?
Looks like Rouse or Lionel.
Rouse, because he's got an orange, a red, an orange, and a light green, right? Second is, let me see here, Lionel. Lionel's got 2 lit up. Rouse has got 3 lit up, or 4 lit up, I'm sorry.
Jason's got 2.
We need to talk to our guys and have them set an expectation and a set of goals for themselves to get better. Victor, you're doing pretty good there. All you got's a light green in the completion rate. Brian, you got a yellow, which is, again, almost there. Mott, where you at? You're doing not good in completion rate and not good in reschedule rate. Okay? As leaders, we should be leading by example. And there's some big areas of growth for the whole team there. So let's make sure we're getting to these guys and saying, hey, we need to set these goals. We need to set these expectations. Don't set them for them. They need to set their own goals. They need to set their own expectations. That way we can hold them to them and say, honestly, hey, you set your own goals. How come you can't meet what you said you could do? It's not what I said, not what you said. It's what they said they could do. Hold them accountable.
Hey, Derek, what's the
house? Go ahead, Brian.
I was just saying, what's the expectation for the adherence percentages? Do we have that, or was that ever sent?
Yes, it was. Here, I can show you right here. It's in the tutorial, trips and tricks.
Quick question before I walk in. I can't really talk a whole lot. So are we going to be asking them for their goals off of just strictly this?
And the scorecard.
And the scorecard. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'm about to walk in the house. I'm still going to be listening, but I won't probably be able to talk too much.
Okay. I mean, does that make sense, guys? Are y'all on board with what I'm trying to accomplish here?
Yes.
Crap. Brian?
Hang on, sorry, I'm talking to the customer.
All right. Vic?
Yes, guys. Yes, I'm good.
I mean, any feedback on that, Vic? I know you're the only one that's not in a house right now.
Yeah, no, I think it's good. I think it's a good thing to do, especially if it's like a month thing or quarter thing. I don't know about a week thing. Yeah, enough stuff to do today.
No, I agree. The week stuff, the week stuff, it was good for a while. We were doing that, and it was kind of going all right. But if we're setting a monthly goal, let's start that off, guys. I know y'all are listening. I know y'all are in customers' homes, but let's start it off with a monthly, right? Let's set a monthly goal for each person, and let's meet it. Let's see if they can meet their goals. I don't care if it's the lowest goal. I don't care if everybody starts out at the bottom, right? But we need to meet our goals that we set. And the next month, we move on. We make our goals higher. If they don't meet those goals, we set the same goals and document that they didn't make them and why they didn't make them, and make
Hey,
sure
sorry to cut you guys off, but I got a customer that's pissed, so I'm about to go in there and handle this.
Okay. I am recording this. I will be sending this out, so I appreciate it, Brian. Thank you for being transparent on that. So, guys, I mean, it's we just need to take care of that and get this going and get the team back on a moving structure. I know that it's past 8 o'clock. I know y'all are going to customers' homes. I'll kind of put some stuff out on our Leadership Zinc as well to kind of finish it up. Dustin, you can go ahead and go. Victor, if you don't mind to stick around for a few minutes, we'll have a little conversation. I appreciate y'all jumping on, guys, and y'all be safe out there and take care of the customers. Mr. Lugo.